Welcome to my channel, the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Corin's boots clanked against the rusted metal deck of the derelict station, his scanner whirring in one hand, while his other shielded his eyes from flickering emergency lights. The job was supposed to be simple: salvage old tech, avoid anything that hissed, and get paid. But simplicity had a way of abandoning him the moment he stepped into the Helix Forest, a graveyard of forgotten machinery. The air smelled of ozone and decay, the walls groaning as if the station itself resented his presence. At the center of the vault, buried under layers of dust and melted circuits, was a pod, sleek, organic, and very much not human. He tapped it with his wrench. It hummed back. The pod's membrane pulsed faintly, revealing a woman inside, pale, delicate, with elongated ears that twitched even in stasis. Corin hesitated. He'd seen enough horror holovids to know poking alien cryopods never ended well. But the pod beeped, lights flaring in a sequence too elegant for human design. His scanner screamed, unauthorized access detected. Flark, he muttered, realizing he'd just triggered a security lockdown. The station's alarms wailed, and the woman's hand twitched. Against every survival instinct, he overrode the stasis lock. Steam hissed. The pod opened. She gasped awake, iridescent eyes snapping open, pupils contracting like collapsing stars. Corin held up his hands. "Hey, hi, welcome back from wherever. I'm Corin. You've been kidnapped. Or rescued. Depends on your definition." She sat up, movements too smooth, too precise. "What year is it?" she asked. "Galactic Standard 3701, he replied. Her face paled. "They're already searching." The station shuddered, warning sirens, turrets powering up. "We have to leave," she said. Corin grinned. "Cool. Also, small detail, this place is about to explode." They sprinted through crumbling corridors as the station self-destructed behind them, lasers scorching the walls. The Star Glint, Corin's patched-together ship, waited just beyond the docking bay, its engines whining in protest as they launched into emergency ascent. Artificial gravity lagged, sending them tumbling. She strapped into the co-pilot seat, like she'd done it 1,000 times. "I'm all Ari," she said. "You've just endangered every living system in this region." Corin wiped sweat from his brow. "I usually start with dinner first, but I admire your honesty." The Star Glint limped through the void, its hull groaning. Behind them, the station detonated in a silent bloom of fire. All-Ari studied the ship's failing systems with unsettling calm. "You're not freaking out," Corin noted. "Should I be?" she asked. He gestured wildly. "You woke up in a death vault, nearly got vaporized, and are now on the run in a ship held together by duct tape and bad decisions." She raised an eyebrow. "I once escaped a collapsing moon by swimming through molten crystal. This is relaxing." They set course for Shatterbelt, a region where physics took naps and occasionally wet itself. Corin figured it was a perfect hiding spot. No authorities, no rules, just gravitational chaos. As they approached, space twisted, stars bending like mirages. The ship's sensors gave up, displaying a frowny face and the words, "Oh no." All-Ari gripped her seat. "This place is unstable." "Like my ex," Corin muttered, coaxing the thrusters. "We'll fit right in." Inside the belt, time wobbled. Corin collapsed into the pilot's lounge, exhaustion dragging at him. All-Ari joined him later, holding 2 mugs of suspicious liquid. "The beverage unit asked me riddles before dispensing this." Corin sipped gagged. "It hates us." She studied him. "You joke to cope." He shrugged. "Stay calm, stay funny, stay alive. Not always in that order." Silence stretched. Then, softly, she said, "I wasn't meant to leave that facility." Alari's past unraveled in fragments. Her people, the Airly, had vanished intentionally, not extinct but hidden. "They feared what we could become," she murmured. "We bound ourselves from the stars. But they'll come for me, the ones who made us." Corin leaned back. "So you're, what, a living weapon?" "A key," she corrected, "to something called a lattice engine." The ship's AI, Eloise, interrupted with a chime. "Something's tracking us." The scanner displayed a vessel, sleek, violet-lit, older than human civilization. Alari's breath hitched. A remnant left to guard the threshold. Corin opened comms. "Hey, ominous ship. Let's not shoot each other today, yeah?" A voice echoed in their minds. "Return key bearer. The threshold awaits." They plunged into the illusion rift, a nightmare of distorted physics. The Starglint groaned, panels buckling. At the rift's heart floated the archive core, a ring of shattered tech orbiting a frozen singularity. Alari stepped forward, the mark from Vault Lyzarus glowing on her skin. "I have to finish this," she said. Corin gripped her arm. "You sure?" She nodded. "I'm done running." Light swallowed her. The core whispered in voices of dead civilizations, offering a choice. Lock the threshold. Stabilize the rift. But sealing it would trap her forever. Alari hesitated, then rewrote the code. The lattice engine shimmered, not as a prison, but as balance. The remnant ship faded. The rift stilled. Back aboard the Starglint. Corin exhaled. "So, where now?" Alari smiled. "Anywhere." For the first time, she believed it. The Starglint drifted through uncharted space, its engines humming contentedly for once. Corin leaned back in the pilot's chair, feet propped on the console, watching stars streak by in the view screen. "You know," he mused, "for nearly causing an interdimensional apocalypse, today's been pretty good." Alari arched one of her expressive eyebrows. "Your standards for good are concerning." He grinned and tossed her a ration cube. "Says the woman who thinks swimming through molten crystal is a reasonable escape plan." She caught it deftly, examining the suspiciously green cube with mild distrust before taking a cautious bite. Eloise's voice crackled through the speakers. "Hull integrity at 68%. Life support stable. Pilot's mental state questionable." Corin rolled his eyes. "Thanks, El. Always appreciate the vote of confidence." The AI responded with what sounded suspiciously like a digital snort. Alari studied the ship's schematics, flickering across a nearby screen. "We should find a proper port soon. The stabilizers need recalibration, and the quantum drive couplers are nearly shot." Corin waved a hand dismissively. "She's held together this long. What's a few more light years?" A proximity alert suddenly blared. Corin nearly fell out of his chair as a massive cargo hauler materialized off their starboard bow. "What the—" He scrambled for the controls as the ship's comms crackled to life. "Unidentified vessel. This is the Iron Minnock. You're drifting into the shipping lane." Alari's fingers flew over the navigation console, plotting an evasive course. Corin slapped the comm button. Yeah, we see you. Just, admiring the view." There was a pause before the gruff voice returned. "Admire it somewhere else, kid." As the hauler lumbered away, Corin slumped back. "Well, that was embarrassing." Alari gave him a look. "We're in a marked trade route." "Which means—" "We're back in civilized space," Corin finished, grimacing. "Which means bounty board, security scans, and people asking annoying questions about registration." He rubbed his temples. "We need new identities. And a shower." Alari nodded toward the navigation screen. "There's a fringe outpost 2 jumps from here. Talus Station. Notorious for not asking questions." Corin perked up. "Now that's my kind of place." The journey to Talus passed without incident, giving Corin time to reflect on their situation. He stole glances at Alari as she meditated in the cargo hold, her strange ears twitching occasionally as if hearing frequencies beyond human perception. Whatever she'd done in the rift had changed her. Not just physically, but in subtle ways he couldn't quite define. Sometimes her eyes seemed to hold entire galaxies. Other times, she was just a woman laughing at his terrible jokes.